Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. In case I sound a little different in this video, it's because I had to relocate my mic in a previous video. It was sort of tapping against the desk, or at least the mic boom was. And because of that, you heard something that sounded like somebody was banging on the walls. But because the sound carries through the mic boom directly into the microphone itself, that's not actually what was happening. It was just a whole bunch of noise in the video, unfortunately. Now, we are going to be doing another scenario by Colonel Ilbrink, and we are back in the Osean story. Linked down below in the description, and at the end of the video is the previous part to this story. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. Prologue. All Osean guns fall silent at the sight of the Razgriz slipping beneath the waves to join both Olympia and South Dakota, and the order to retreat has been given, but not before a ceasefire is signaled to a few remaining Italian ships for the sake of retrieving sailors from the water. The Italian ships surprisingly respond in agreement to the ceasefire, knowing full well that they had lost far more than the Oseans, and both fleets begin to search for survivors before returning to port to lick their respective wounds. By some miracle, you and more than 75% of your crew are rescued, along with only about 30% of the crews from the Olympia and South Dakota. The possible Italian invasion has been thwarted, but the victory is bittersweet as the loss of the Razgriz leaves Osea without a significant symbol of naval power. Thus, the Osean government and High Admiralty have called for all available hands to assist in the construction of a new capital ship for the Black Fleet. Note, only 2 Osean ships were lost before the Razgriz went down. When the Razgriz was lost, any ships lost ex post facto were not lost for the next chapter due to the ceasefire. It is now April 1926, and while more than a year has passed since Razgriz was lost, the good and the bad come off the same coin. The transformation of both ports into naval bases is in the final stage and should be completed in the next few weeks. The construction of a new capital ship, the Upor, is underway. The Osean flag is still, unfortunately, a work in progress, as minor details are still being debated. One thing that's unanimously agreed on is that the Razgriz will be part of the flag to pay homage to its short yet glorious life and the sailors that were lost with her. Meanwhile, intelligence has been keeping an eye on a small, hastily assembled Russian fleet consisting of light cruisers and destroyers in the port of Kaspiysk, a mere 210 miles or 340 kilometers to the north. This is not much of an issue as the Caspian Fleet also consists mainly of light cruisers and destroyers. However, you have only a small complement of heavy cruisers. The Osean Navy saw no sense in placing a capital ship in the Caspian Fleet, as the Caspian Sea is landlocked, and the only real naval threat is Russia, who would also not see sense in confining a capital ship to such a small operational area. Nonetheless, the High Admiral has ordered you to lead the Caspian Fleet north to let Russia know that Osea controls the Caspian Sea. End of story. As you approach the port, you see that the intelligence was somewhat inaccurate, as you see a fleet of 18 ships coming to greet you, rather displeased that you have entered their waters with a military force. It soon becomes clear that while they may have quantity, you have quality, as the Russian fleet consists of 8 destroyers, 8 light cruisers and 2 heavy cruisers against the Caspian fleet of 4 12,000-ton heavy cruisers, 5 lights and 3 destroyers. As the Caspian fleet is confined to the Caspian Sea, the nations which created the WNT saw no issue with the 12,000-ton heavies due to the ship's limited area of engagement. So, long story short, I'm building 12,000-ton heavy cruisers, and I'm going to have those guys work against 2 heavy cruisers and a whole slew of smaller ships. Now I need to get a 12,000-ton heavy cruiser. The Scranton heavy cruiser is a bit much. No, I can make this work. Let's see, can I more or less get that to 12,000 tons? That'd be great. 12,003, 1 tick? No. There. 12,003 tons. I'm not sure if this thing has a name. I don't believe it does. So we're going to go with Scranton. It is, let's say, an adopted United States warship. Anything else I need to know? No, not really. I just need to sink all of their ships. That's the objective. Sink all Russian ships and lose no more than 2 heavy cruisers. Light cruisers and DDs are expendable. Just make sure to at least have 2 heavy cruisers survive. Right. Let's go with a ship that, for a heavy cruiser, has a lot of firepower. Good lord, how am I supposed to fit this on a cruiser? Okay. Engines. Geared steam turbines. I don't have a budget restriction, so I should be able to just go to town on, well, on shopping for the ship. Standard bulkheads, reinforced bulkheads, all of them. Range, not important. Speed. I'm considering going with a pretty fast heavy cruiser to ensure that I can keep up with their lighter ships. I need 1 funnel. This small funnel might not do it. Oh, it will definitely not do it. 27% engine efficiency. Those things don't fit. Because I need a separate... Oh, they do fit here. 47%? I'm at 11,000 tons and I haven't added a single gun? Damn. I guess slow's the way to go. 30 knots. There goes my plan and dream of fast ships. Unfortunate. Alright, anti-torpedo blister. Depends on my turning circle. 433. Can I boost that? 406. 381. It's still pretty sizable. So let's go with the best money that sonar can buy. Coincidence rangefinder and a radar. Generation 1. So I'm hoping that this way I can ensure that I will not get hit by torpedoes. If I go about 24-25 knots, that should also boost my turning speed. And I hope, seriously, that that's going to make sure that I don't get hit by anything. Now then, how about a mix of gun calibers? How about a couple of double 8s? And then a couple of double 11s. The double 11s are there to take on heavy cruisers. The double 8s are there to deal with small cruisers. 4 weight offset, 11%. Well, I don't know how to really fix that without making the ship butt ugly. Oh, this will work. This will work. Okay. Propellant of lyddite should be fine. It should be fine. Let's go with maximum reload. Oh, let's not go with maximum reload. I guess we're just going to go with standard reloads. These things are very heavy. These 11-inch turrets. If I go for a full 8-inch loadout, that would save me quite a bit of tonnage. Which I can then use to add more secondaries. There. So 8 8-inch guns. They have a rate of fire of 2.36 rounds a minute. If I would want to go for auto, I can push that down and get up to 3.92. That's a substantial boost. Let's go with that. Secondary guns. We're fighting light cruisers and destroyers and a few heavies. 5-inch dual turret, if it can actually find some useful place to sit, but I'm afraid they're too big and will not turn. So let's go with the slightly safer 4-inch guns. And hope that those things are actually going to be capable of swiveling. Which is something that recently not a lot of my guns have been able to do. There. Double 3-inch, double 4-inch. By my standards, this is actually a pretty reasonable design. I mean, it's not even that crazy. It might just work. Heavy shells. Screw it, we're firing lyddite today. Why not? And, well, speed and displacement. I'm going to have to slightly lower displacement. There, 12,003. Let's boost the belt armor. Boost the belt extended. And the turrets are also going to get some attention. The conning tower, 10 inch. Boost the secondaries a bit, because I need those to take down the smaller ships. 5.5. There, I'm 1 ton off. I'd say that's pretty close. Pretty workable. Let's put this thing to work. So, let's see what kind of cruisers the Russians have. We're really not that far off. We're about 16 to 19 clicks out. Their heavy cruisers are sporting 15 8-inch guns. Well, they didn't put capital ships in here, but these things are very impressive. They also have their light cruisers, single guns. And these are 7 single 6-inch guns. Okay. That's the other light cruisers, and then the DDs. Coming in with plenty of torpedo launchers. And a fairly modest main gun armament of 6 4-inch guns. Alright. Let's throw all of my light cruisers into one div. Normal. These light cruisers have few bulkheads. Great. We have 6-inch guns. A good number of them. One whole 3-inch gun. Wow. And torpedo launchers on the sides. Excellent. DDs. Maximum bulkheads. Now we're talking. 4-inch guns. 2-inch gun. Torpedo launchers there and on the stern. And these are sneaky torps. Excellent. That's better. Alright, plan. Have the heavy cruisers thin the lines. Starting with their heavy cruisers. Make sure we get rid of these. We can hit them once they get to 16 clicks. Considering I can't hit them yet, let's try and focus on the light cruiser. And then have my own light cruisers follow me in. So I want you to indeed follow the heavy cruisers, and I want you guys to follow the light cruisers. There. It's going to be one big line of ships. And hopefully I can keep everybody alive long enough to ensure that I don't unnecessarily waste a whole bunch of ships. We are firing at light cruisers, so high explosive should be sufficient. Punch a couple of holes in them. And here come the heavy cruisers. Oh, they're smoking up. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. Hit! 8-inch gun, hit, partial pen. With high explosive, no less. Focus fire on the heavy cruisers. Considering they're very much angled in, coming towards me, we're going to go with high explosive still. And if I can just sail and continue to cross their T, that would allow me to then not have to worry too much about any torpedoes, at least not yet. Our heavy cruiser is burning up. Well, briefly. Another hit. Let's take a screenshot of these things while they still look good. There. I only have 2 of these heavies. I think they're by far the most dangerous warships that the fleet has. Those light cruisers don't worry me too much. The DDs somewhat do. It's going to depend on how effective they're going to be using in the torpedo attacks. Light cruisers are not yet in range. They're going to be in range 12 kilometers. So there. And since I haven't identified this cruiser, I don't know what my chance to pen is. It should be going up now that the ship is turning. Let's switch back to auto. And see if high explosive and a mix of armor piercing is going to be successful. I don't have it ID'd yet, but I can see what the shells are doing. If they hit, that is. Which they're not really doing that much of. Not right now, anyway. Most of it's just flat out missing. I don't even have to worry about pens. At least I'm not seeing anything ricochet off the side of the ship. Although, actually, that was one. That ricocheted. Okay. Back to high explosive. We are firing lyddite, after all. Secondaries on this. This is one of their lights. Those light cruisers are not terribly dangerous. Do they sport torpedoes? Oh! No, sorry, yeah, it is a light cruiser. And yes, they do sport torpedo launchers. Great. 98% ID on the heavies. Finish that and let me know what we have. There. This is the Standard. Maximum bulkheads. That's why the fires don't catch. 8-inch guns. Tons and tons of ammo. Torpedo launchers out to 6 kilometers, so they're using fast torps. The Prut. 6.4 as well. And the current range to the heavy cruisers is only 6.8 kilometers. We're going to focus this thing down right now. We're going to start turning away from them. Light cruisers, I think it's time to smoke up. Oh, whoa. Few bulkheads. These things don't do very well against flooding, do they? No, they do not. Not at all. Torpedo range, 12. Focus fire on the heavy cruisers if you still have torpedo launchers available. And then the DDs. Just go that way, because the DDs are expendable. And if I need to, I will send them right into the heavy cruisers and torp them. They have sonar 1, so they will see torpedoes coming. Sneaky torps will give me a bit more of an opportunity to hit, but as we've seen in yesterday's video, these guys are ridiculously good at dodging torpedoes now. Way too good for my taste. I think the AI might need a small nerf in that department. And there we go, that's one of them down. Next is the Variag. I think I struck out with these light cruisers. They're pretty easy to flood, especially once you start punching holes in them with heavy lyddite shells, which is something that these heavy cruisers are more than capable of doing, as opposed to my pen chance on those, which is 11%. That's pretty terrible. Range is 10. Well, that does put you in torpedo range, sir. Hold on. I would like everybody to line up. I can fire 2 spreads. But the Standard is moving away. So my chance to actually hit him with a torpedo is not great. Let's continue to shadow them, set the smoke screen. Secondaries on the Zabiyaka. Their light cruiser. Sorry, their DD, not light cruiser. Immediately it gets... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not interested in that. Here they are. Let's have the heavy cruisers turn around quickly. These things are also very floodable. Scranton. Recommend immediate action if you want to avoid getting hit. No, you know what? Minneapolis, go the other way. Okay, the DD is gone. Okay, Scranton's fine. Let's have the Scranton rejoin the division of the Minneapolis... No, the Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is Division 3. There. I'm going to have you slow down a touch and make sure that you fall in behind Scranton. And Minneapolis is going to fall in behind you. My crews are taking some damage. Very good. Keep that up. Charleston, join the other 2 heavy cruisers, and then finally Minneapolis, join the others. Light cruisers, come to port. Try not to interfere with the other formation too much. We have business to take care of. Their heavy cruisers are sort of disengaging. That's curious. Ah, my smoke screen just ran out on the destroyers. Crap. So I'm gonna have to wait for a little bit. How many 4-inch guns do you have? 4 triple 4s and 1 single 4. Smoke screen in 220. I need to intercept this guy. What's your rate of fire like? Not terrible. Not terrible. You definitely have some sort of improved loaders. Now, are there any more torpedoes in the water? The Variag detected torpedoes? That must be for my light cruisers then, because it's not for my heavy cruisers. Yeah, the lights probably dropped a few torpedoes in the water. This thing is getting pretty lucky, and it's well, I was going to say it's dodging, but it's not dodging anything. Oh. Come on, Lowry, we're going to turn. Turning circle on these was pretty bad at 567. And again, they're long ships. And that means that their turning circle is going to get pretty heavily affected. What speed are they traveling at? 26 knots. And that is not their maximum speed. Range is now 2.4. I'm going to be trying to getting as close as possible. And ideally dropping torpedoes off when I'm right in front of him. That's your target. Range 1.6. We're now starting to get some serious damage on the destroyer. Torpedoes away. Which of course are immediately detected. You'd think. Did they? Oh shit. They can pull that trick too. Lowry detected torpedoes. Standard detected torpedoes, but they're slightly late. Or are they? No, they are not. Jesus, those guys are good. Damn. There goes the Okhotnik. Looks like that one's down. The light cruiser Variag is down. Where's their other heavy at? There. 11 clicks out. So this cruiser is just very isolated. Interesting. Interesting. Hold your torpedoes. Okhotnik is down. Jouet that way. Lowry turn that way. Even though you don't have torpedoes, you can still pose as a threat. Range 1.7. I'm probably going to have to drop these things off at 300 meters. Otherwise they will just dodge. 1.1. 1.9. Hard to starboard. 0.6. I'll take it. Just have to maximize rudder starboard. There we go. Port torpedoes launched. The Standard detects. No way. No way! No, there's absolutely no way. He is not dodging that. And these are 20-inch torpedoes. That will leave a mark. Especially if you also happen to blow up his ammunition. There we go. The Southern probably won't be around to brag about the tales of running into the DD. Or into the heavy cruiser, but at least the mission got completed. The heavy cruiser is down. Let's see, these DDs could fire at 6.4. They're not getting that close. Light cruiser status. Coming in. This time around they're not getting too scattered. Jouet. Cease fire and turn away from the enemy. You are launching at the DD, so your chances of hitting are around about 0. But who knows, if I get exceptionally lucky, I might hit the olifant behind it. Pittsburgh is on fire. Yeah, but it seems like the DDs don't really have too much that they can put off against me. Except for torpedoes, of course, such as those. Some damage to the light cruiser there. Come on, guys. Focus your secondaries on the Rochelle. Because we're at 5.4 kilometers. And these things will continue to harass us. Formation is not tight enough. One DD's down. Next is the Grom. Light cruisers. I want you to go that way. DDs are so far surviving. In retreat. Let's link them up again before I completely forget about them. And just more or less go this way. Torpedo in the water. Assumingly targeting the Pittsburgh. Ooh. Shit. I did get the Charleston hit. And as these things do not have torpedo blisters, that's gonna really cripple that ship. Charleston is dead. Charleston has sunk. Crap. Scranton, lead the div. Join the div of the Pittsburgh. Oh, sorry, of yeah, Scranton join Pittsburgh. Minneapolis join... Yep, there we go. Formation tight. I'm hoping that that's going to make it more useful. Get rid of that DD. Come on. Nope. Not fast enough. It just launched torps again. Slow to 18 knots. Improve dodging. Pittsburgh is already starting to turn. If we just do a starboard donut, we should be fine. There. Our heavy cruiser is still staying at range, but has not managed a single hit. Nothing. Let's keep the DD somewhat closer. Minneapolis, join the two heavies. Light cruisers are also trying to pitch in, but they're not very accurate. Nor do they have a great volume of fire, because it's those single guns. Oh well. I'll take whatever I can get from these ships. Ammunition looks fine. We should be able to take out enough of the ships not to have to worry about them again. New target. The Novik. Range 5 kilometers. This thing needs to go before it drops a whole salvo of torpedoes on me. There we are. Flooding. Come on, Scranton. Torpedo launch from Novik. We're going to turn back to port. Dodge the other way. I heard a torpedo impact. On a light cruiser. Oh, that's terrible news for the Worcester. Yeah, the Worcester's not going to live through that. Not with a few bulkheads. The Worcester's down. DDs have rejoined the fleet. Could you stop launching torpedoes at me, maybe? Yeah, well, it will stop because it just ran out of torps. So yes, it worked, but a bit late. We've got torpedoes coming in here. Alright, let's once again detach. Turn, turn. You're probably gonna get fucked here. Yeah, you're gonna get very much fucked. I can only afford to lose 2 heavy cruisers in this scenario. So the other 2 are suddenly mission critical. Come on. Fuck, these things have so many torps. Oh. You're fine. But you're gonna have to do some torpedo beating. Turn to port. Hard to starboard. She's launching again. Hard to starboard. Maximum turn. We're gonna yank that rudder and use that to pull the ship back on course. That was uncomfortable, to say the least. We are definitely inflicting more damage on them than they are inflicting damage on us. Because we have taken 8,600 damage, but we've inflicted 22,000. So we are currently coming out ahead. Let's see if the Osean Navy can keep this up. And for those of you wondering, yes, I know what the Osean Navy comes from, or where it comes from. I have played Ace Combat, believe it or not. Fairly recently, actually. But some people were commenting on the last video saying, oh, it's a shame he doesn't get the reference. Hey, just because I don't comment on it doesn't mean I don't get the reference. Oh, here we go again. Novik is down. Unanimously. 3,500 damage on Scranton. 3,500 damage on Pittsburgh. What did the damage come from? Oh, 7,000 on the torpedoes. Right, so that's the damage that the heavy cruiser took from my destroyer attack. That heavy cruiser. Or, well, its counterpart. Done. Light cruisers. Not terribly far away. Destroyers on the other side. Just going to get to the Oliphant. 0.8. Yeah. I don't think so. Check your fire. If you can't hit it, there's no real point in trying to throw as many shells there. We're gonna have to get quite a bit closer here. A little while later, I've managed to close the distance, and the Jouet, the DD, is getting quite close to the Voyeveda, which for some reason or another is still training. Ah, there we go. It's training her guns and her torpedo tubes on the Jouet, finally. The Voyeveda is also getting hit by some of the 8-inch from the heavy cruisers. Considering that the enemy heavy cruiser was at such a great range, I decided to hold my fire and wait for a better opportunity to use those things. And the Voyeveda seems on the receiving end of it, not greatly deserving, or at least not very happy with the attention, as the heavy cruiser just doesn't do anything. It's one of those let's chase the Russian fleet episodes again, and they just run. I managed to close the distance from, what was it? I think it was 14, 15 kilometers down to 9.2. But still, it is surprising that these guys are just continuing to run. Let's also put some more firepower on the Admiral Spiridov. And I don't need to save my ammo anymore, because I now have the range. I have a fairly decent accuracy, but I mostly need these things dead before either of my heavy cruisers gets hit again. Yeah, and here we go again. I set these things to loose, which means that they can reach their top speed, which the Pittsburgh is promptly not doing. So effectively, it's only the Scranton out here, and the Pittsburgh is, for some reason or another, not speeding up. Now, I was hoping to execute another torpedo strike with the Jouet against the Oliphant, but it looks like that's not happening, because the DD is getting a bit of water damage aboard. Losing one engine, and by the looks of it, that's not coming back, because that whole compartment looks terribly flooded. The DDs are going in for a huddle, which works perfectly well for me because the Spiridov thereby cannot launch torpedoes. And they're both presenting themselves as one bigger target. Jouet detected torpedoes. Yeah, but I don't know where. Because neither of them are launching. But both of them are starting to really suffer. More flooding. Oh, hold on. That's uncalled for. Target the Voyeveda and wipe her out. Before she does that thing again, like that. Scranton. Finish her. Come on. High explosive lyddite. This thing should be gone. At least she's out of torpedoes, but the Spiridov is not. Range to the Oliphant is 6.6, and she's still not picking a side. This does, however, mean that the Spiridov might launch torpedoes. Fair. Oh, fuck me. What is that? Where did that even come from? The Pavlin? There's one DD around? The fuck? I imagine that that would be the torpedo salvo that the Jouet detected. From great range. Now both of the light cruisers are dead. Now it's going to be seeing who has the better fuck me armor. Ugh! Just before she went down, she launched torpedoes. Oh, fuck. That means a mission failure. Because I was only supposed to launch, or lose 2 heavy cruisers, not 3. 2. Despite that, I will continue. I will sink that heavy cruiser in revenge. And I will also, hopefully thereby wipe out the entirety of the Russian squadron in this particular part of the map. I'm hoping that that's going to once again reclaim the Osean honor. But, damn. First I lose their battle cruiser, and now I lose too many heavy cruisers to consider a win. This is not really going well for the Osean Navy. Despite all the dodging, those torpedoes still got me. Damn! Getting salty about that. Huh, she's finally starting to retaliate. I'm still lobbing high explosive her way because my pen chance is so bad that I'm hoping I can burn away some parts of her superstructure. Because the rest of it's not happening. Jouet can do 19 knots. But the Oliphant can do 29, so my chances of keeping up with her are very limited at best. Chance to pen me? 9%. But my pen chance is going up nicely as we continue to get closer. The Oliphant also carries torpedoes. These torpedoes are short range, 6.4. And I'm already inside of her torpedo range. But it looks like because they are on the, well, next to the superstructure, that they cannot properly orient towards me. I can use that. I can very nicely use that. If I continue just to trail the ship... Oh, hold on. There's the torpedoes. They were apparently able to launch. Chance to pen 40%. Chance to pen me. Still bow in 13%. 41. Close the gap. And just drive them towards the light cruisers, which are also trying to do their level best, but with a 6-inch gun, their pen chance is probably far worse. 6%. Please be firing high explosive. Okay, time to switch to armor-piercing shells. Because now we have about a 50% chance to pen. Engine damaged. They do have those maximum bulkheads, but I'm hoping that I can just damage their guns substantially. Ah, they're turning away. Fine. Back to high explosive we are. Where are those single launchers? On the sides. Okay, do not pull alongside that ship. That's too dangerous. Our structural integrity is starting to fail. Light cruisers are coming not quite alongside, but Providence is out of ammo, Manchester's out of ammo, Albany is about to run out, and Pasadena is even closer than the Albany's running out. Well, I guess I can use them as a distraction while the Pittsburgh continues to do damage. Do not pass along the side of that ship, it will fuck you up. %, 56%. I'm hoping to burn off the superstructure and thereby reducing their damage control abilities. When that happens, those fires will stay on a lot longer. Chance to pen's only 28%. Their chance to pen me should be far better now. 25. And their ammo is very, very much more available than mine. 2,500 shells versus my 400. They have to be packing increased shells. Yeah. 43%. Chance to pen still only 30. I'm a bit worried about the port side torpedo launcher now. Because I don't want that thing to suddenly throw 5 torps my way. And wipe out the last surviving heavy cruiser. %, structural. Come on, Pittsburgh. Swing your guns around and continue the assault. 32. It's not a fast process, this, but it is working. That starboard launcher is almost reloaded. Our speed is now 13 knots. We can slow down. Because I'm very much expecting a salvo of torpedoes to be coming at me soon. And if I slow down, I'll be able to dodge those a bit more easily. Speed, 24 and dropping quickly. Which will seriously improve my turning circle. Damage to the torpedo launcher, structural integrity 27%, 3 engines damaged. Means that she's going to be more or less dead in the water. Chance to pen still a mere 20%. This would create an opening for the Jouet to come in, if she lives that long, and try to do damage with a torpedo strike. She's not very good at fixing her engines, it seems. Oh, her secondary tower is out. That's good news. Secondary tower is very important for damage control. It's part of the damage control parties, or at least damage control effort on any ship. So slowly but steadily, we're chipping away at this ship, and it seems to be working. They also lost one of their turrets. Yeah, that turret's toast. Damage to the main tower. Keep hitting him. There's fire aboard that ship. Again. Structural integrity 15%. Ship speed 7.9 knots. My torpedo should be in range. Just launch it. 12%. Torpedoes away on the Jouet. That's her last hurrah. Another main gun has been destroyed, but I'm not seeing it. In fact, all the guns appear to be working. 7.7 knots. She's going to be exceptionally agile at this point. But her rudder is damaged. That's my advantage. Her rudder is damaged. She will, however, continue to lose speed. So it might mean that those torpedoes... No, those torpedoes will catch her. 4% structural integrity. 2%. We got her. But officially the mission is a failure because I lost too many heavy cruisers. I thought I could dodge all the torps. Yeah, not so much. And I paid the ultimate price. Because I thought I had killed a heavy cruiser. And it turned out to be not as dead as I would like it to be. So that's unfortunate, but hopefully I can at least have recouped some of my honor simply by killing off the entirety of the Russian formation. I'm looking forward to seeing what Colonel Ilbrink has to say about that down below in the comments. Sorry to disappoint once again. The Oseans do not appear to be having a great time in this campaign series. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for another video.